you? What do you do?
Well, my name's Graham. I'm a tour guide here at Old Trafford. I've been here a couple of years doing the tours. Again, we take all sorts of groups around, children's groups, mixed public groups, school groups, foreign groups, you name it. We take everybody around. Biggest supported club in the world, even though we're going through lean times at the moment.
Ask you another question?
Ask me another question.
What is it about football that unites the world?
Well, it's a global thing, isn't it? It's family now as well. It's not just about men. These ladies' teams, these children start playing football at 5. These organised teams around the world. I think it unites everybody together. Right. You've seen that. I mean, it's become a world sport now. It's not just sport in the UK. It's not just European sport. The USA now are gripped by football fever as where they weren't 25, 30 years ago. Yeah. So I just think it's one of those, quite an easy game to understand. It's quite simplistic, and it gets everybody involved together, and there's no language barrier to it. Football is football, isn't it?
Unusual that a city has 2 massive teams, United and Manchester City.
Well, the North West has got some very big teams. I mean, you look at Liverpool, who are coming back now. You go down south, you've got Chelsea, Tottenham, and even the Midlands now. Leicester City won the Premier League for the first time in their history. So again, it's becoming more open. It's not just one section of the UK that's got really good footballing talent any longer.
Yep. What do you think about the female football? I mean, it's up and coming, isn't it?
I mean, it's up and coming. I mean, we've had female tennis players for years. We've had female athletics. We've had we get female rugby. So again, it's a competitive sport. So it doesn't mean that because a female is competitive, she can't get involved with playing a game like football. You know, so.
You've chosen De Gea. Why?
Again, I think he's been the most outstanding player at the club for the last 3 seasons. I think he's aided the club to getting where it's got. I think without De Gea's help over the last 3 seasons, I think we'd have ended up mid-table. I think it's partially down to him that we're where we are at the moment, and he is probably the best goalkeeper in the world as we speak.
Yeah. Favourite Manchester United player of all times?
No, that's awful.
Okay.
In recent memory, I would say Rick Cantona, the catalyst behind the original Premier League title back in '93. You can go right the way back for me. My first real big favourite player when I was growing up was a lad called Gordon Hill. He was a winger. I was only 10 at the time. And then as the years have progressed, Brian Robson, Mark Hughes, Paul Ince, there's too many to mention. But if you have a standout player in the 90s and early 90s, you'd have to probably say Cantona. I mean, you can't miss out Ronaldo and Roy Keane, and there's too many. But at the moment, the only player that stands up for me is David De Gea. That's the only one for me that is the outstanding, excluding the youngsters, because you can't say anything. I mean, I think Martial's a great player. I think Rashford's a great player. Fosu-Mensah's a great player. Bothwick-Jackson, all great players, but he's still learning the trade. It's of a standard. It has to be of a standard because we've got a 5-star awarding plaque by UEFA, where we have to have our facilities reaching a certain standard. So effectively, these are the real changing rooms. And what happens on a match day? About an hour and a half before kick-off, the players will arrive here from a local Manchester hotel where they spend the night together as a team. They will arrive here, say for Sunday, about 1:30, kick-off 3 o'clock, and it's just the 18-man squad here. And the 18 shirts you see hanging here today are the 18 men that were starting against Leicester City a fortnight ago. So the back wall are the starting 11, and Rashford as well on that corner. So from De Gea through to 39, Rashford would have been the starting 11. And how it's set up, you've got the goalkeeper, the defence, the midfield, and the strikers. So it's easy for Louis van Gaal to address a certain section of the actual team. So if the defenders are not playing right, he can directly glare at the defenders, strikers, and so on and so forth. The remaining shirts are for the substitutes. You will see some tactical boards, very rarely used on a match day. Most of the tactical stuff is generally discussed at the training complex in Carrington. They do all the contingency plans, everything's done there, apart from if someone gets injured during a warm-up. Now you might recall about 6 weeks ago when we played Midtjylland in the Europa League, that Anthony Martial was injured and we had to bring in Marcus Rashford. That's when these came into play for a last-minute change. The TV screen is simply for Sky Sports. The players don't come in here at half-time, all sit where you're sat, watching first-half highlights. They simply don't have the chance. You think they've got 15 minutes to get back out, back in here, Isotonic drink, water in the fridge, bananas, muesli bars on there, even a cup of tea. We're English, we like pots of tea here. Then they can have a massage if they pulled a muscle, anything like that. Use the toilet facilities, then they've got to get back round to the park for the second half. So they simply don't have the time. Through the door on my left hand side is the wet room, where you have 7 conventional showers and 2 plunge pools. The plunge pools have replaced the common law sort of ice bath, where the players used to get into a bath of ice. That's been replaced with a pool, where the players can get in 2, 3 at a time, up to about the sort of just underneath the chest area, and the actual water's set at 3 degrees Celsius. That will then sort of repair any soft tissue damage during the game. It also helps the recovery, because what they do when they've been in the freezing cold bath, they go into a hot shower, and the reaction of a hot shower with the cold then replenishes and repairs any sort of damage to the tissue and muscle. So that's effectively what happens there. On the other side of the wall we have the away team changing room. We'll be making a visit in there very shortly. The corridor joining us to the actual away team changing room is quite a famous corridor as well. We've got 13 plaques on there, each of them celebrating one of our 13 Premier League triumphs over the past 23 years. You'll also pass the warm-up room, the manager's room, the boot room, the match officials room and the match day manager.